All right, folks, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Welcome to our latest IDMS community webcast. I'm going to shorten this a little bit because we're getting started a little bit later. Apologies for that. We just had some technical difficulties. Just a couple things I do need to go through, though. If you have questions along the way, and we hope that you do, please use the questions box on the lower right of your screen under the control panel to ask those questions. We'll get through as many of those as we can during our time together today. If we run out of time or something requires some research, I will gather your information and share it with the team. The replay of this session will be available out in the IDMS community either later today or tomorrow. And if you can stick around for a minute or two after our session to give us some feedback via our webcast survey, we would all appreciate that as well. I'm going to hand you off to Sheila Miller, who's going to introduce today's session in full. So take it away, Sheila.
Fantastic. Thank you, Lynn, and thank you, everybody, for taking the time today to join us for our monthly webcast. We certainly appreciate it. We'll be highlighting what's new in IDMS Tech Talks today, so thanks again for joining us. Our goal for the session is to review the latest updates within the IDMS Tech Talk platform, and we'll be sharing new highlights. We'll cover a general organization of the information. We'll also share new tips and tricks using search capabilities to find content, and walk you through a demo of the Tech Docs to point out some of these insights along the way. So to guide us through the session, I'd like to introduce both John Shea and Miller Henley, our primary tech writers for IDMS. So I also would like to take a moment just to thank John and Miller for your willingness to present today. So I'm going to turn it over to you, John, to get us started, and we'll go from there. So thanks again.
Thank you, Sheila. As we said, I'm John Shea. I'm a staff technical writer with Broadcom. I work on the IDMS documentation with my colleague Miller Henley. Before we start, we are obligated to share our standard disclaimer. Some of what we will be reviewing is a work in progress and subject to change at any time without notice. Here is our agenda for today's presentation. These are the highlights we're going to be covering. We've set up our discussion on the IDMS Tech Docs into an overview and how content is organized. Broadcom's documentation platform is techdocs.broadcom.com. This URL takes you to the Tech Docs portal where you can find product documentation. You log in, login is up in the upper right page, and you can view restricted content, download PDFs, and send us documentation feedback. In the Tech Doc Portals field, you can type IDMS and select from the options. Documentation is organized into 3 different sites: the main site, IDMS, IDMS references, IDM reference, and IDMS messages. I'll discuss these in a moment, and they'll be on our tour of the documentation later on in this session. This is the IDMS main site. Each of the squares you see here is a facet that contains content related to that facet. You'll notice that announcement and news is on each site page. And I'll get to that topic page in a moment. The IDMS site contains information about announcements and news, which has information about conferences, community, and product news. Release notes is about a summary of enhancements, fixes, and open issues. IDMS videos are videos to help you learn about IDMS. Installing, like you would think, includes the steps to acquire, install, and deploy, configure products. Administrating is information to customize and maintain the product. Using is information and procedures for end users. Integrating is integration of IDMS and other Broadcom products and third-party providers to extend mainframe capabilities. And reporting is information about the IDMS reporting capabilities. IDMS reference site contains supplemental reference information. Each of these facets has information related to those topics. If you have questions about IDMS messages, come to the message site, which has the messages and codes generated by IDMS. And I'll get to those in our tour. Here's what we'll be discussing for the IDMS main site: the landing page, topics, announcements, and news, and our new features. This is the IDMS landing page. The table of contents in the upper left is the icon that gets you the table of contents, so you can view what information is available on the site layout. The facets and squares display the contents of categories, for example, IDMS videos and integrating. The home icon, in the upper left, is to take you back to the TechDoc portals page. Up top is the breadcrumb trail, which leads you to where you are in the present documentation levels. There's a PDF icon in the upper right where you'll be able to download a PDF of the documentation. The search field is where you can enter search criteria, and IDMS 19.0 is the current release, and it is only available in English. Other products such as Datacom will show a version drop-down and language options. Other Broadcom products may show a version drop-down and other language options. Sorry, I'm repeating myself. You can view content by selecting the facet or by using the table of contents icon. You select a facet that opens the topic, and it also displays where the topic resides in the table of contents pane. Announcements and news. You can navigate to this page by clicking either the table of contents icon or one of the corresponding facets on the landing page. This page, you will find the latest information about conferences, community events, important product news. For instance, we recently went GA with our extract, transform, and load feature. We have a new training class for ADS application, and earlier this year, we documented our effort with the STIGs, the Security Implementation Technical Guidelines. We've retooled the new features page. It used to be a long list of features, so we thought we should better reorganize it. We have the current and preceding year under our main topic, and the earlier years in subtopics. Next year, we'll show the features for 2024 and 2023, and we'll create a new topic for 2022. We've been constantly working on improving the user documentation. In the next 3 slides, I'll show you the important content we recently added pardon me, to make it more complete and readable. You can use the installation checklist to plan and execute IDMS installation. It has a summary of the basic steps for first-time installation, and this was all part of our out-of-the-box initiative. We discovered that some content had not crossed over from the 18.5 bookshelf to our online tech docs, so we've created new topics to cover those missing areas. To make sure we got it right, we cross-checked with the original material and our subject matter expert input, our SMEs. The STIGs are industry-wide standards for external security managers. This is a beyond code enhancement to improve security and provide privileged access for our IDMS users. We created 66 STIGs that cover the ACF2, RACF, and top secret ESMs. Of course, people will need to find information to help them do their jobs better and more efficiently. There's a site search and the Google search. I'll be presenting some tips to make the searching easier next, and I'll also be showing this in my Tech Talk tour. In the upper right corner is the search product field where you enter the information you want to look for. So as I said, I'll provide a demonstration of this when I get to my tour. Searching is limited to the site you are on. You can't cross search to other sites. So you have to be on IDMS main. You can't cross-reference to IDMS reference. We have found that the majority of users use keyword searches, which does not always produce the desired results. To find reference information, go to the IDMS reference site. For message code explanation, go to IDMS messages. Most of our users use Google to search for information. You should try phrases rather than specific terms, and you'll get a more precise listing of related topics. Here are some search operands you can use when doing a Google search. You can use the plus sign, the minus sign, the or bar, quotes for a more exacting search, and the asterisk for wildcard searches. Offline viewing. You can download PDFs for previous release documentation, or for previous release documentation, you can use our legacy bookshelves. All sites are up to date as of last week, as well as the individual facet tiles. You can download an entire site, but be aware the IDMS main site is just over 8,000 pages of content. The IDMS reference page is over just under 6,000 pages. So if you're on a topic and want a PDF of it, the download PDF icon will download the PDF of the facet tile and not the single topic page itself. As part of continuous delivery, when we release new features, we will update the downloadable PDFs for the main site as well as for the related facet tiles. If you want to look at content from previous releases, you can search through the legacy bookshelves, or you can download PDFs and use those to search. On the TechDoc portals page, you'll notice that we have several boxes right below, and there is a CA legacy bookshelves and PDFs box, and you can click that and get to the items. On the legacy page, you can enter a search criterion or a specific IDMS bookshelf item. And if you do, in this case, CA IDMS, you'll get a long listing of documentation available. But please remember, the online tech doc should be the first place you go to for the current IDMS information. One of the tech doc initiatives is to make content more readable. We edit the user documentation that the engineering team provides and use the acrolinks tool within our documentation coding to make the content more readable. Click the acrolinks icon over here on the left in blue, and then click check and get a readability score from 1 to 100, in this case 80. Below the tool is a list of suggested changes we can do to increase the readability score. We do our due diligence to accept or reject the proposed changes. We appreciate your feedback. If you want to provide feedback, ask a question, or make a suggestion, we have a feedback link on each topic page. Down at the bottom, you'll find it there. TechDocs lets users provide feedback about information on the page through this feedback form. This form replaced the commenting feature that we had in February 2022. If you have any suggestions or want to give us feedback, we encourage you to use this feedback link. When you provide your comments, you'll get this feedback form. The information is treated as confidential. We will reprioritize with our other work and respond with the latest results. Now I'd like to give a tour of the IDMS technical documentation pages.
All right, John, I'm going to give you control. There you go.
All right, let me.
Perfect.
This is the IDMS TechDoc portals page. In the upper left and the upper right, you need to log in. Then once you get to the screen, you can go to the field and type in IDMS. That's IDMS, learn to spell, John. And you'll get various sites you can look at. Let's go to the IDMS main page. I had talked about announcements and news. Over here on the side is the table of icons table of contents icon. Go to announcements and news, and you'll see a listing of all the events and information that's going on. One thing I'd like to bring up, in less than 2 weeks, we have a mainframe technical exchange going on, and we'd like you to attend. Registration is available on this, registration information is available on the announcements page. So please join us. We usually post everything that's new in our new features. Let me go back to the IDMS main site on the breadcrumbs. I had talked about the installation checklist, so I want to find out more about it. And as you can see, I get 2 items. I'll go to the first one to see if that's what I'm looking for. As you can see, it is the IDMS checklist. It addresses the prerequisites as are needed for all the information you need to set up and install IDMS. Now, we also mentioned that we had a new feature, extract, transform, and load. Let me type in load and see what I get. Oh, at 644 results. I don't know where I'm going to be able to look through all these and find the extract load. So let me be more precise in my research. And they can see I get the extract, transform, and load search item. I go to that and I get the page that tells me all about ETL. Now, for instance, in let me go to the main site in reference. And I want to search on an item, let's say a macro beta ebb gen, and I can find a thing about how to display it. Go to the home page and go to IDMS messages, and I get a message code of DC 170106. Do a search on it. And I can find out that it's a memory cache error. Now, let me switch to another panel. And you see my Google screen now.
Yes, we do.
One of our trainers asked me about the IDMS J report. She said she couldn't find it. So I put in IDMS J report and in the Google, and it comes to this, and it goes to the actual page that talks about the IDMS J reports. That's one way of searching. Let me go back to the main discussion. Back to you, Len.
Are there more slides we're going to share, folks, after this?
Yes, we have more slides. Yes.
All right. All right, Rajesh, I'll give it back to you then. Here we go. There you go, sir.
Right here we have a listing of the quick links we've talked about. For any questions about IDMS documentation, you can contact me, contact the writing team, myself, or Miller Henley, my colleague, and or the offering product manager or product owner, Sheila or Rajesh. Are there any questions?
We don't have any questions in the questions box right now, but folks, if you do have questions for John, please feel free to drop them in there right now. If you're asking something a little bit longer, please feel free to also just type, please wait, so we don't close the session while you're still talking. And while people are potentially typing, Sheila or Rajesh, anything you guys want to cover in addition before we go ahead and close?
I don't have anything else to add, Lynn. I think that if folks have questions after the fact and they would like to reach out and schedule some time to chat with us, we welcome that. Rajesh, do you have anything else to add?
No, I think we covered what we wanted to cover. Fantastic job, John and Miller too. What the main intent is, while many of our customers who have been with IDMS for a long time are very familiar with our bookshelves, some of you may be new to this TechDocs portal, how to use it, how to leverage it. As John mentioned, we keep updating our TechDocs mainly on the TechDocs portal. It is the latest and current, and we want you to use it. And if you have any questions, comments, feedback, if you identify any information missing, or if you have good positive comments, please reach out to us, as John mentioned, and you can use the feedback links on pages, or you can contact the TechDoc team or Sheila or I, and that's our main intent. And we would like you to utilize this TechDoc information, and if you have any suggestions, please reach out.
All right, we actually have a few questions that just came in. Is there a way to print or create a PDF of one topic only instead of 8,000 pages?
No. You can do a PDF of the facet,
Right.
which will be an immediate reduction of it, but there's no way to do the single page.
Yeah, in a way, you can download only a facet instead of downloading the entire site. Once you download the facet, you should be probably able to navigate and select the pages in the PDF. I want to print only those pages, I guess.
Yes.
That's possible, right, John?
Yes. And takes less storage space too.
Right.
Here's another question. Why are all documents not listed in one place? For example, we tried to install JDBC, and each time when we encounter, we get new article links instead of providing them everything at once. I'm not sure if that question makes sense or not. If it doesn't, like I said, I'm capturing all these, and I'll make sure that I share it.
Yeah. Well, if you can identify yourself, may not be on this forum, but if you want to reach out to us, and we would definitely like to have the conversation why you are not able to find the information you want and how we can improve it.
All right. Yeah. So I'll make sure that I capture that in what I send you guys later. Next one. How do I manage getting IDMS APARs?
So I'm guessing it's not talking about the TechDocs.
No,
But
I don't think so.
Yeah, if you're talking about the test APARs, we go to the validation site. If you want to get the latest release APARs, we go to the support site. And as continuous delivery, we have been informing you that we put out a level set PTF at almost like a 6-month cadence. And the last one, or the most recent one, is 19.0.05. You can use that latest level set, and from then onwards you can apply any PTFs after that. And next month in October we plan to release next level set, so you can make your 19.0 release current by applying the level set and applying whatever PTFs you want after that, and you can download those PTFs from the support site.
I believe there is a link in either I think it's on new features, where they can go to the PTFs that are listed.
That's right.
All right, it looks like we have answered every question that has come in. But again, for the Rajesh, Sheila, and John, I will make sure that I identify the folks who asked those questions so we can follow up with them as well. If there aren't any other questions, I think we can go ahead and wrap up. John, great job today. We really appreciate it. And to everyone who joined us today, we appreciate your time as well. Keep an eye out. Well, actually, hopefully we'll see a bunch of you during the virtual MTE the first week of October. And we'll talk to you on the next webcast. Have a great day, everybody.
Everybody, take care.
Thank you.